1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, testing. Right. I do not work at the Magnus Institute London, and that is a good thing too, because I would be dead in a day. But perhaps not for the reasons that you might expect. I'm not going to walk into some endless labyrinth that twists me around and spirals until eventually I just collapse in a heap of dehydration and mental deterioration. I'm not going to be swallowed by the sky or eaten by the darkness. No, I will fall victim to something else far sooner: the sin of lust. Do excuse my awful audio quality as I welcome you back, or rather, welcome you, since this is my first video, or, I mean, it is welcoming you back. You're all from my TikTok, aren't you? If you're not, then welcome. I'm new here. Is this always how it is? Yes. Yes, it is, because today we're going to be ranking the Magnus Archives characters in order of attractiveness. Well, not really in order, it's a tier list. You get my meaning. You get my meaning. And I'm going to say that it's going to be completely objective, but that would be lying. It's going to be mostly objective, mostly objectifying, very biased, given that I don't know if you read my username or know anything whatsoever about me, but look at me, I'm gay as hell. I don't like men. They can get out of here. There are some exceptions in the Magnus Archives, of course, but we'll get into that. Alright, phone is bugging out there for a bit, but we're back now. I have noticed that I'm lagging a bit, and I don't know if it's just from what I can see on the display here, or if it's going to be the actual video, but I feel like it's going to be the actual video. So just think to yourselves as you suffer through this, it'll only get better from here. You know, I'll figure out what I'm doing, it'll only get better from here, which is why you should stick around. But anyway, for our cute little tier list today, we've got 8 tiers that I made specially for this. Our top tier is, my wife, bark, bark, bark. I feel like it's pretty self-explanatory. I don't know, like, my wives. A lot of the characters in other tiers will also be my wives, but these are like my top wives, you know? As in, they could hit me with their car, or if they can't drive, which I'm presuming that a lot of them wouldn't be able to for various reasons, like, well, I'm not going to spoil anything, am I? But they can do their weird monster stuff, you know, like, I don't mind. Oh, you've got a knife? Wide open. I'm wide open, girl. Just let me get my clothes off first, for the only reason being that I wouldn't want you to ruin them or anything with that knife, you know. Our next category, we've got why is the room flooded? This one, I feel like it's also self-explanatory. I don't know. If it's not self-explanatory, maybe you shouldn't be watching the video. I'm not telling you what to do, though. Do whatever you want. Actually, I think you should all be watching my videos. Children. All of the children, the young children, should be watching my videos. That was a joke. Use common sense, guys. Just use common sense. I feel like that's not too much to ask, is it? Anyway, the next category is hey there, leans on fancy door. This one is pretty much just all of the characters that I find attractive that don't go in the top 2 tiers. Like, yeah, I'd hit. Yeah, I'd absolutely hit that, but maybe not as frequently as those top 2, or not to the extent of those top 2 anyway. There's not really much to say on that one, but the next one is in another world. That one basically means that if I was less gay, or if they were women, if they're men, or if I was just a little bit different in some way, not necessarily the gay stuff, then yes, but for now, just know there's too many things that I would just say no to that rule that out. Our next category is would hit just to make them cry. And this one is a bit of a divided one. It's not characters that I find unattractive, but it's not necessarily characters that I find attractive. It's sort of that middle ground where it doesn't matter how attractive they are, because the only reason that I would want to freak that is to see them pathetic and crying. So, yeah. Below that, though, we've got thanks, but no. That, most self-explanatory of them all. Not my type. No, please, no. Okay? Below them, however, we have... Wait. My tier list has rearranged itself for some reason. I shouldn't be swearing in this. Technically, below them we have get the hell away from me, I'm putting on more clothes. That is characters that should stay as far away from me as possible. Get out of my vicinity. I hope that you're wearing all your clothes because I'm certainly wearing all of mine. And if you're not wearing all your clothes, please put them back on and then leave. And technically at the bottom, except as I said, this thing rearranged itself. I can probably fix that. Actually, hold on. Okay, there we go. I fixed it. That was a fuss over nothing. Reminds me of my mother. Now, I'm a Magnus Archives fan. Okay, I don't know if you can see this because it's pretty faded. I've been wearing it all day, but I like one Jerry Key, and that may lead you to think, does Avatar of the Lesbian have some issues with their mother? The answer there is yes, which means that several Magnus Archives characters do indeed remind me of her. And I mean, I have a psychology exam on Thursday, okay? I don't want to be thinking about Freud any more than I have to. But with that said, let's get into it, shall we? That wasn't a question, by the way, guys. We are getting into it whether you like it or not. Off to a fiery start, we've got Agnes Montague. That was so not funny. I'm never saying that again. Agnes Montague. My name is literally Jude, and you know who I stole it from? Yep, Jude Perry. That has nothing to do with my feelings for Agnes Montague per se, but I just think that it accurately encapsulates it, doesn't it? I don't blame Jude. I don't blame Gertrude because Gertrude Agnes realness, guys. Gertrude Agnes realness. I don't blame Jude. I don't blame Gertrude. I especially do not blame Jack. I too would get my face burnt off for Agnes Montague. Which means that Agnes Montague goes in Why is the Room Flooded? The room won't be flooded for much longer because of the heat radiating off her that just evaporates all the, well, it's not water, is it? But, yeah. Heat in both a literal and a figurative sense, of course. Next, though, we have Daisy Tonner. Hey girl. I have never been one for those werewolf Wattpad stories or those alpha CEO mafia boss TikTok POVs where the alpha mafia CEO boss is 6'4", and of course the alpha, as I previously mentioned, and I am poor and weak and 4'11" and weighing 3 kilograms exactly and not a gram over, and I have big blue orbs, and he owns me because my family is poor, and yeah, never been particularly into that, but I think that if Daisy was the 6'4" mafia CEO alpha, I wouldn't mind suddenly shrinking down to 4'11". Maybe I'd want to be a little heavier just so that I could function as a human being. But, fuck the police, am I right? I'm not making light of that, but like literally. In both ways for Daisy. Daisy, they could never make me form a solid opinion about you. But why is the room flooded? It's Daisy's fault this time. Next, we've got Annabelle Kane. I love Annabelle Kane. I am a fan of the web. I'm not particularly web aligned. I don't know if you can see that, but it has like a web dyed in there. It's kind of faded by now. This thing behind me, technically it's more like eye aligned, kind of spiral because I went insane making it. But you could say that it looks like a web. It's even had spiders in it on occasion. But I just think that if I was working at the Magnus Institute and they had me investigate a statement about Annabelle Kane, right? And maybe it'd go something like this. Hi, yeah, like this guy, he was literally found dead in his flat, head completely full of spiders. Yeah, we know it's Annabelle Kane. We're sending you in to deal with it instead of someone more qualified. I don't know, we don't like you. We kind of want you to die, to be honest. But yeah, and then I'd be like, yeah, of course. So I'd turn up there. I'd turn up to the flat, and Annabelle Kane would be there waiting for me because, of course, it's me. So I get a welcoming committee, and she's like, "I'm literally gonna fill you up with spiders," and I'm like, "What?" Because I have this condition where I don't hear the last 2 words of any sentence. So I'm like, yeah, okay, they're very forward of you, girl, but okay. When are you doing that? And then we get married, of course. And because we get married, she is going in, my wife, bark, bark, bark. Lovely. Ew, disgusting. Next up, we've got a man. Unfortunately, I know, we couldn't avoid them forever. It is Arthur Nolan, and to be honest, I'm not even sure why I put him in this tier list thing. I think it's just because we've heard his voice and he's on the characters list. I pretty much put all of the characters from the characters list on here, except for the less relevant ones, and obviously Callum because he's a child, right? I feel like that goes without saying. And they're all colours because it's their canonical appearances, guys. It's nothing to do with me being too lazy to find pictures. Okay, Arthur Nolan Get the hell away from me, I'm putting on more clothes. No. No. It would go in thanks, but no, except I know I said this was going to be objective and just about looks, but I just don't like him. I just don't like the dude. No, we're just not doing that. Next up, though, we've got Basira, back to the ladies, and what a lady it is. Hello there. This may be a little even more biased than usual because I am a big fan of one Ashes O'Reilly. Mechanisms reference, guys, mechanisms reference. Basira is, of course, completely different, and I find her a lot less attractive than I do Ashes. Okay? But that doesn't really mean anything in particular here, does it? Does it? I mean, she's mean to John, but first of all, objective, and secondly, everyone's mean to John. Everyone's mean to John. I don't think mean to John is really a great framework for judging any Magnus Archives character. Even John is mean to John. Nobody likes the dude. Affectionate. I'm being affectionate here. Basira, though, I need to be a bit picky here. I can't just put everyone at the top. Basira can go in, hey there, leans on fancy door. Alright, next up we've got Brecon and Hope. Now, I'm sure plenty of people will be into this one, right? You know, they see these two big delivery men standing with their weirdness on their front step. The weirdness is the hottest part of any of these characters, by the way, of course. But they see these delivery men with the weirdness, and they're like, oh gosh, is that my strange, mysterious package that's going to wreak doom and despair, probably on me, maybe on other people? Gosh, oh no. You mean I didn't pay in advance? But I'm afraid I don't have the money for it anywhere. How else could I possibly repay you? But that's not me. Okay? I'm not doing that, alright? So Brecon and Hope is going in thanks, but no. Okay? Just no, alright? Next one we have is a little controversial. Elias Bouchard. I know that a lot of you have a lot of opinions on Elias Bouchard, and those opinions aren't always held by your heads and your hearts. Okay? Not that I can talk. I do not want to fuck Elias. I do not want Elias to fuck me. However, I would fuck Elias if it meant that he would be crying and pathetic and a loser like he already is, so I would hit just to make him cry. Alright? Jonah Magnus. Either the original or Jonah Magnus as a concept, whatever that would mean, I do not share the same feelings about. That absolute ass is getting far, far away from me. He is putting all of his clothes back on, and I'm keeping all of mine on, and he is getting the hell away. Okay? Next up, we've got Eric Delano. Now, again, I'm not exactly sure why I put him in this, because we don't get an awful lot of him. Not enough to form a solid opinion, I don't think. However, I do have a solid opinion because I'm great at forming opinions on things, guys. I'm great at forming opinions on things. And, I mean, he gave us Jerry. That could also be said for Mary, and I hate her guts, but whatever. This isn't the point. This is not the point. Eric, I get it, okay? I get it. It's just not for me. It's not for me. So, thanks, but no. Thanks, but no. Our last slightly dull-coloured one for now is Gabriel. Why did I put so many random characters in here? I don't know, but Gabriel, he can take his clayfish and put all of his clothes right back on and cover himself in the tablecloth that was on the clay table that he was using. Probably, I don't know. Why would there be a tablecloth? Why wouldn't there be a tablecloth? I don't know, man. And he can get far, far away from me. He can entertain himself by making clay sculptures of tits or something. That's what I'd do. If I had any skills with clay, I'd make tits. So get the hell away from me. I'm putting on more clothes. Because next up we've got Georgie, and this is a welcome change of pace. Because I love Georgie. Also, Goth Georgie truther, okay? I believe in Goth Georgie and Punk Melanie for the win. Georgie Barker. I think it's hard. I want to put everyone as high as possible, except for the ones that I want to put as low as possible. But then there'd only be like 2 categories, so can't really do that. Georgie Barker will go in Hey There, Leans on Fancy Door. Why did I turn British for a second there? I know that a lot of you probably think I'm British already, but it doesn't help when I suddenly start speaking actual Britishly. I'm not British, guys. I'm not British. Georgie Barker is Hey There, Leans on Fancy Door. Okay? Okay. Next up, though, we've got Jerry Key. And he is a bit of an outlier here because my family's doing some weird shit out there. He's a bit of an outlier here because he is a man, at least canonically, I think non-binary Jerry, realness, but Jerry Key. I am a fan of one Gerard Key. You may have noticed. I am a fan of one Jerry Key. So, you know Book Talk, right? And spicy books? And you know how Jerry's a book? Yeah, I don't think I need to be saying anything else on that one because I'm not going to be saying anything else on that. You can elaborate from there if you have any desire to, because Jerry is going in. Why is the room flooded? Oh, hello there. Hello there. Oh, quick little break. Cat. She wants my dinner, and I don't even have my dinner yet, so she can get away. She can get right away. All right. Next up, we've got Gertrude Robinson. Now, you know how I mentioned my mother issues? Well, Gertrude Robinson is not one of those characters that reminds me of my mother, which means she's obviously one of the characters that I want to freak, because those are the only two options, guys, as we all know. And I don't just mean like young Gertrude Robinson, okay? Because I am banging that granny. I'm hitting that. I'm hitting that. And I don't care what you'll say. The cat keeps putting her tail over my laptop screen. Gertrude Robinson goes, Hey there, leans on fancy door. Helen Distortion, guys, is anyone here from TikTok? You're all here from TikTok. You know where this is going. I'm diving right into that door. Okay, she can distort my spiral any day. Those long ass hands. What can they do, huh? What can they do? You know, I walk into the hallway and she's there because, as I said before, welcoming committee for me always. I just walk through the door that wasn't there before, and she's there, and she's like, I'm going to eat you, and then she does that really hot laugh of hers. And I do hear the last two words of that sentence, right? Because they're the important ones. Eat you. I don't even care which way she's doing it. Could be the sexy way. She could just be devouring me with that damn door. But I don't care. Helen Distortion. My wife, bark. And I'm moving her ahead of Anna Barkane here. Bitch, move. Thank you. Number one wife. No, it doesn't get better. I'm just like this all the time. Okay, I'm just like this all the time. Get used to it. Next up, we've got Jane Prentice. This is another controversial one, I think, because I am not attracted to the worm woman. I mean, I am, but it's the worms that are the problem. I am the corruption's number one hater, okay? I hate the corruption so much. If any of those worms got anywhere near me, I'm not responsible for my actions, okay? Like, I know that a hole's a hole, but that's too many holes. In the spirit of that, I just sighed into the mic, sorry. In the spirit of that, Jane Prentice is in another world. In another world where I don't hate the corruption as much, or where there are slightly fewer worms, maybe. But for now, no. Jared Hopworth, the bone turner. He can go and turn as many bones as he damn wants, okay? As long as they're not mine, okay? Jared Hopworth is not turning my bone anytime soon, okay? He is staying very far away from my bone, in fact. And all of my bones. Staying very far away from me. I don't care if he canonically has a handsome face. He is getting the hell away from me, and I'm putting more clothes on. The corruption again. And another one that I don't know why I put on here, because can you all guess where John Amherst is going? This is like the worst. He's gross. He's got flies. He's a man. Ugh. Get out of here. Get away from me. I'm putting on like a whole hazmat suit at this point. Okay, not just more clothes, but a full on suit. I'm not even seeing him because of the tinted glass of my helmet. I'm tinting the glass, so I don't have to see him. I thought that was obvious. Jonathan Sims is next. Jonathan Sims, head archivist of the Jonathan Sims, head archivist of the Magnus Institute, London. I should have put him first, but I wanted this to be vaguely alphabetical. I am acknowledging in this that John is ace, okay? So I'm not going to say anything freaky deaky. Also, I have an archivist sticker on the back of my phone, and that's what's filming, so it's just watching me, capital W, and I think that's very fitting. Jonathan Sims is another little outlier here, in that he's a man who I'm not putting in one of the low categories. Jonathan Sims is, hey there, leans on fancy door. Listen, I understand Martin deeply, okay? And I mean, yes, that is mostly just because of the lonely, capital L, and the mother issues, but also Jonathan Sims. Don't tell me that you don't agree. If you don't agree, actually tell me if you don't agree, okay? Engage with my video as much as humanly possible. Tell me that you don't agree. Next up, we've got Jude Perry. Now, my name is Jude, as I may or may not have mentioned, and I did steal it from her. Technically, I didn't really steal it from her. Like, I was looking up gender-neutral names when I realized that I was non-binary, and I saw, like, Jude, and I was like, oh, I like that name. Oh, that's the Magnus Archives. I can be a walking Magnus Archives reference. And now it's really weird, because anytime Jude Perry is mentioned, it just feels like Johnny's, like, misgendering me for no reason, and I'm like, okay, what's all that about? Jude Perry, though. You know how I said that I would get my face burnt off for Agnes Montague? Well, I would get a lot more burnt off for Jude Perry. Wax is moldable, is it? Well, let's see where it'll fit. I'm not sorry. Jude Perry, my wife, bark, bark, bark. I feel like that's fitting. I feel like that is fitting. Next up is Julia Montauk. I feel like I'm being very repetitive. I'm just saying, next up is Julia Montauk. First time I listened to the podcast, I really felt nothing about her. But I've listened countless times since then. By countless, I genuinely mean countless. I have no idea how many times I've listened to the Magnus Archives since then. I think I might have a bit of a problem. Perhaps, maybe. No, I'm completely normal. Julia Montauk, though, she could kidnap me. She could kidnap me and read spicy books. I should just drop that joke. It wasn't funny the first time, and it's less funny now. Julia Montauk, however, why is the room flooded? Why is the room flooded? It's probably all that brackish water, but maybe. Jürgen Leitner, stupid idiot mocking Jürgen Leitner. I'm not going to do the whole rant. I was about to, but that'll just take too long, and I'm yapping too much already. But that will have already given you some idea as to how I feel about him, and I've already talked about how I feel about Jerry. And maybe being Jerry, I might just be Jerry, you might just be me. So Jürgen Leitner is getting the hell away from me, and I'm getting a metal pipe as well to hit him over the head with. I've seen that tag on AO3, like improper use of a metal pipe. And that's not what we were doing, okay? That is not what we're doing. I am very properly using it, okay? Extended sounds of brutal pipe murder from me this time. I was almost beaten to death by an angry goth. Well, this is the angry goth that you're going to need to deal with now. Finally, back to women. We've got Manuela Dominguez. I mean, she'd probably want the lights off while we're doing it, but I don't mind. You know, I underestimated her the first time that I listened to the podcast. Again, I'm talking a lot about the first time I listened to the podcast. Nobody cares. But hey there, leans on fancy door. Admittedly, she did get swallowed by said fancy door, so she probably wouldn't be super happy with that. But I don't have a car or a license, to be honest. I should get one of those. But hopefully she likes my door enough that she drags me away from it. And the rest was history. Next up, oh my god, not again. Next up, we've got Martin Blackwood. I am Martin Blackwood. Okay, quick side note here. I don't get what people have against self-cessed. Even calling it that makes it sound weirder than it is. They're like, oh, it's like doing a twin, but it's not. It's a fundamentally impossible scenario. And if there was an alternate universe version of myself out there, or if I stepped out of the mirror, or if I was somehow cloned to be like an exact replica of me, I would hit that. Okay, that's not vanity. That's just self-love. You know, go fuck yourself. If you insist, Matt. If you insist. But I'm about to contradict myself there after I just said that Martin Blackwood was me by putting it in another world. I think that if Martin Blackwood was a butch lesbian, absolutely. But this is looking at them canonically, and he is not. So, in another world. Ugh, Mary Key. I've mentioned Jerry many times through this video, and can you guess where Mary Key is going to go? 5 points if you guess right, okay? 3, 2, 1. Reminds me of my mother. Ugh. Every time I listen to 111, he's like, I think she knew she had me trapped. Okay. Where are the cameras in my house? I mean, they're probably everywhere. I've got Jonathan Sims' poster over there. I've got an art project that was technically not Jonathan Sims because I'm not meant to do fan art for school projects, but I did anyway. So it's Simon John's. He's up there. I've got my archivist sticker right back there. John is somewhere back there on the Magnus Archives wall. Obviously, that's where they got it from. But yeah, reminds me of my mother. And just for the note, I'm not hitting that. In case you didn't get that one already. Maxwell Rayner. I should have just put a category on here that says go back to the nursing home. For all the old people that I don't want to smash, okay? Because I would say, why would I want to bang some wrinkly ass? But, literally. But Gertrude Robinson is up here. Maxwell Rayner, however, is not. Get the hell away from me. I'm putting on more clothes. I feel like that one's going to have the most people in it. Unfortunately, yes, I'm picky. However, Melanie King. I love Melanie King. I call myself Avatar of the Lesbian, right? But the true Avatar of the Lesbian is Melanie King. I believe in Sash Melanie in season 1. I believe in HELLOOO in season 4. And of course, What the Girlfriends. Melanie is the ultimate Avatar of the Lesbian. And there's no point in denying it, really. And she's also my 4th wife. My wife, bark, bark, bark. For those ones who have tuned out of the video by now and are just listening in out of morbid curiosity for what I'm about to do next. Who knows? Ooh. Another controversial one here. Michael Distortion. I don't know. I feel about Helen Distortion the way that many people feel about Michael. And I just don't share that feeling, guys. I just don't share that feeling. However, Michael is attractive in his own way. And I would like to see the pathetic man be pathetic. I would like to make Michael Distortion cry or whatever it is that the Distortion does instead of crying. So I would hit just to make them cry. Hey, stop lagging. Alrighty. We're almost done, actually. Mike Crew. The Mike Crew. That's what they should be called. There's 7 Michaels in the Magnus Archives. They just should be called the Mike Crew. That wasn't funny. Mike Crew. I get the appeal, guys. I really do. However, thanks, but no. No. I get the appeal, but it's not for me. Okay? It's just not for me. I think I'd be a lot taller than him, actually. He was described as pretty short. That's nothing to do with the ranking. But I just think that's funny. Okay? I just think that's funny. I've said that too many times. Next is Michaeli Salesa. This one, again, thanks, but no. Right. This thing keeps lagging. And it's really annoying me. But yeah, he's meant to be really tall, isn't he? 6'7", or did I just make that up? I don't know. But I just, again, I get it. Tall, strong guy who does weird illegal shit and has an accent and is fun, but no. Just not for me, and not even in another world, okay? The other world is very similar to our own, you see. If it was just any other world, then anything could be possible. Nikola Orsinov. Moisturize me. But yeah, Nikola Orsinov, please moisturize me. Okay, I'll strip down. You can pull out the moisturizer. You can go to town. Why am I like this, guys? Why am I like this? Nikola Orsinov, why is the room flooded? And why is half of the flood moisturizer? Next up is Oliver Banks. I keep saying next up. Whatever, it can be my catchphrase. Next up is Oliver Banks. I think that if Oliver Banks was also a lesbian, I would hit that. Okay? Because yes, I understand it, and I understand it especially. I was about to say especially in the context of, but I don't know what the context would be. However, Oliver Banks, in another world where he's a lesbian, I feel like Oliver Banks is just one step away from becoming a lesbian anyway, okay? Wakes up one morning from one of his creepy ass dreams and it's wait, I've just been hit with the transgender ray. And with the transgender ray came the lesbian ray, and the rest was history, once again. Peter Lucas. My brother's name is Peter, and that doesn't even have anything to do with this. I may have mentioned how I feel towards Martin and how I am Martin. Peter Lucas, however fun he is, like, he's a fun character, I've got to admit. But my mother was also a fun character before she became a bitch, so he reminds me of my mother. Peter Lucas and Mary Key can hang out over there and make some cursed children or some shit. Not a Harry Potter reference. Gross. I don't know why I thought of that one. Rosie. Now, I would think perhaps there wasn't really enough content of Rosie to form a full opinion on her for this, but I actually do. I would get right under that secretary desk and go to town. Everybody hates me, guys. Everyone hates me. Rosie, hey there, leans on fancy door. Hey there. Hey there. I should stop. Sasha James. She probably already knows how I feel about her because she knows a lot of things. You know, she can break into my computer and read all of my fan fiction. And that's saying something. She can read my bookmarks if she wants. Because Sasha James, why is the room flooded? That one was pretty quick, so not Sasha. Originally, this was just going to be the not them in general, and I will say that I would talk the not them, but I just decided to not Sasha specifically. I did find her voice a little annoying, and in a podcast, voices are very important. So, not Sasha is again, hey there, leans on fancy door. Okay. I have my dinner here, so let's just finish up this ranking. Third to last, we've got Simon Fairchild, back to the nursing home with you, but I didn't make that a category. I should have. That would have made it so much better. Simon, he's fun. I love how fun and like unserious the vast avatars are. Like, you know, you're insignificant in the vast scheme of things, and I'm being way too unobjective in this objectifying video, so I'm going to shut up and put Simon Fairchild in Get the Hell Away From Me, I'm putting on more clothes. Because, like, I'm sorry, what do you mean the wrinkled skeleton of a man? I don't want a wrinkled skeleton anywhere near me. Unless it's Gertrude Robinson. Sorry. Next, however, we've got Tim Stoker. Another bit of a controversial one here, but I think that a lot of you will understand, you know, the lesbianness of it all. Tim Stoker in Another World. Actually, no. I would hit just to make him cry, to be honest. Yes, I changed my mind, but I don't think I did. I knew deep down. I loved him, okay? I love him. And when this video blows up, you all will too. Get it? Because Tim, yeah, okay, sure. I'll shut up. But I also want him to be a pathetic man. And Loki want him to whimper, to be honest. Everybody's whimpering in this damn podcast, okay? You can't blame me. And finally, we've got Trevor Herbert. Another nursing home escapee, but I don't like him. I know I said that this was subjective, but I've contradicted myself many times with that already. I don't like him. I enjoyed his dynamic with Julia. Even he was fun, okay, but I don't like him. He's an ass in the not hot way, and he can also get the hell away from me. I'm putting on more clothes. Now, you can all take a look at that, and if you disagree with me, I highly encourage you to comment. If you agree with me, also comment. Actually, comment if you even see the video. Yeah, if you disagree with me, you can tell me why. Explain why I should be into Gabriel. If you are. I mean, I'm sure everybody's into, at least everybody here on the list has at least one person they like, okay? That likes them. That's what a hear me out is. Although I suppose, like, the majority of these are not hear me outs, okay? I don't like the dilution of the term hear me out, okay? A hear me out is something you actually need to be heard out with. If it's human shaped, it's already not a hear me out. Or a conventionally attractive monster, not a hear me out. But as I've said, if you agree with me, tell me. If you don't agree with me, tell me that too, and I might even listen. Probably won't, but who knows? You'll never know if you don't say. Figuring out all this after just making TikToks is really quite the adjustment, and I feel like I'm repeating myself a lot. Because like the longest videos that I've made before on TikTok are like 7 minutes long, and this is way more than 7 minutes long. But anyway, I hope that you all watched the video and enjoyed it to at least some extent. This channel will probably be like mostly this sort of thing. The Magnus Archives, probably like fanfiction stuff, other stuff like that. Hopefully I can get the camera to stop lagging and maybe get a better quality mic, but the lagging is a more pressing concern. But I did want to get this out. Anyway, guys, subscribe down below, and and like the video and all that stuff. And see you later if there is a later. Recording ends.